All right, class, this is going to be the tour of 308 and the intro to your first lab, which is going to be basic glassware and equipment. So in this room, we have a lot of different things going on. Over here, you have the fume hoods, okay? This one actually does not vent, but you can turn it on. It's kind of like not completely useful since it's not venting, but we will do work in the fume hood there. All of the safety equipment works in the room. This is the eye wash station. If you get something in your eyes, come over here. The goal for all of our laboratories will be to not use any of the safety equipment. That is typically an indicator that something has gone wrong, but certainly they exist for a reason because accidents happen. Yes, the shower works. During the review of the first lab, I will pull it if you so desire. Fire extinguishers are back here. This is for pretty much the large majority of fires that would have occurred. Again, there should be no fires out of control in this room, but again, if that is the case, they're right here. This one here is more for metals. Again, I would be the one handling those should that situation arise, but it's a good idea to know where the safety equipment is. This one right here is the fire blanket. Smothers fires. If somebody's clothes were to catch on fire, that's why you need to have your hair tied back, etc. This is our fume hood. This one does vent, so when we need to evaporate volatile solvents, they will be done in there. And lastly, here's your other eye wash station. I'm not going to push that one because indeed it will make a mess. In the back room, it's a little messy right now, but most of the reagents and things are back here. Okay, so carts full of stuff that we're going to end up using. pH indicators are back here. Here are the acids, the organics. And then the reagent room is here, pretty well stocked, lots of different stuff to be used, and really just determines or depends on what we actually end up getting through and what you guys want to do. Again, it's a little messy back here, we're working on it. Let's talk about the lab. I guess maybe the last thing actually is safety goggles. Make sure you're wearing these pretty much at all times. Let's talk about the lab a little bit. So in this lab, you're going to be introduced to some basic glassware and equipment. There are well over 1,000 pieces of equipment in here, different things, but you got to start somewhere. So in this lab, we kind of start with some of the things that you would most commonly see in the laboratory, whether that's again at in a high school campus, or you're working at something more sophisticated, I suppose, like a research university. A lot of this stuff appears all over the place. So here's how this works. When you start this lab, you want to identify first whether something is a measurement device or equipment. So let's start with some equipment. This is number 12 on the laboratory. It is a test tube, right? We all know what a test tube is. It's pretty versatile. You can do small experiments in here, carry out many different experiments at once, excuse me. Typically, it does hold liquids, but it's not a measurement device, right? This is equipment. Moving on, this one here, I don't have this labeled yet, but this is a transfer pipette. Yes, again, it does hold liquids, but really, really roughly. I would much more comfortable call this a piece of equipment rather than a measurement device, although you can actually roughly measure volume on the pipette because there are some graduations. But if we were going to measure volume at least accurately, the transfer pipette would certainly not be the way to go. The other thing you need to keep looking out for in this lab is if it is a measurement device, which we're going to move on to here, you need to state its uncertainty. In the first lab, in the first chapter, you're going to get a deeper understanding of what measurement is. Okay, we all can talk about measurement using rulers and thermometers, but what is actual measurement? It's something we want to gain a deeper understanding of in the first laboratory. So if something is a measurement device, you need to state its uncertainty. Uncertainty is essentially a realm or a criteria upon which we could state that we have measured the intended value within a certain, again, degree of certainty. Meaning, if I measure 10 ml, it really depends on which equipment I am using that would determine what my uncertainty is and how accurate I've actually measured volume. For this one here, this is the analytical balance. Its uncertainty is stated on the glass of the measurement device here. Okay, this right here is a beaker. It's labeled. Its uncertainty is right here. Okay, it is plus or minus 5%. Again, this is graduated cylinder. I'm giving you a lot of answers for your lab here to help get you started. And again, the uncertainty here is plus or minus 0.020. Pretty much wraps up the lab, okay? You need to, the pre-lab. You need to work through it at your own pace. By all means, ask questions. Keep that concept of uncertainty close in mind. That is likely gonna be a new topic in this lab. And certainly one of the best parts about our room is the beautiful view we have in the morning here, this fine morning. So enjoy it as you walk past. Enjoy your first lab. Get started.